G'day everybody, welcome to another week aboard Sailing Supernova. We are in the San Blas Islands at a beautiful anchorage called the Swimming Pools. It's so clear here, we can see our anchor chain and the anchor, and we've been going swimming all day, every day. It's super hot and sunny even though it's the wet season, and so we've been working on a few boat jobs and we only get around to doing them either early in the morning or late in the evening when it's cool enough, because the rest of the day is for swimming. Well, we kind of sleep in a lot, so that's why we're out here in the evening getting started on some boat work. Last week we made some beautiful window covers to protect the inside saloon from the sun.
And here are the beautiful window covers. Look at that, if you didn't see last week's episode. Oh yeah, they look absolutely professional.
And so we've made the inside of the boat much cooler, but this week one of the things we're going to do is make the outside of the boat much cooler, specifically over the trampolines, where we don't actually use very much. As you can see, we've got some rope, some pipes.
Yeah, there's a pipe there, a rope, some fenders.
They've been there for quite a long time. So we hardly ever sit there. It's scorching hot in the middle of the day, and then we come out on the bean bags or in the cockpit. But we want to make a cover for the sun so that we can sit out here in the daytime, maybe do some boat jobs and that, and just have some protection from the scorching sun.
And we've seen a ton of other people with glorious shade covers that just go all the way over the front of their boat. But we have this solar panel here, so we're hoping to do something a little bit different and protect the trampolines. And we have
a big bundle of material, and you can probably tell what color it's going to be.
And we got it in Panama, and the totality of the cost of all of the material, I think, ended up being that we're going to use for this project was around $50. It was incredibly cheap.
I think it was cheaper than that.
It was cheaper? Yeah. So incredibly cheap.
We bought a bunch of other things from the shop. I think the whole thing in total was $50. And we got heaps of this. We weren't 100% sure what we'd use it for, but we just bought it. And here we are seeing a bunch of other catamarans with these huge shade covers. And so we're going to copy them.
Yeah, so we'll get to the design process right now. So I think they're the same length.
We can't even remember. We didn't realize that there was two pieces.
Yeah. Okay, let's put one aside.
Okay.
Did I bring a measuring tape? Did you bring a measuring tape? No. Rock, paper, scissors. Oh, you were just again. Nice. You wrote that down.
I wrote down. So I'll write down 300. Got it?
Yeah. So now we have to deal with the fabric stretch.
Okay, we think we've got the measurements down pat. Took us a few goes.
More than a few goes. A bit confused. We started measuring in millimeters. Now we're measuring in centimeters. Now I'm confused.
We were thinking about putting it over this area, but then it would cover the solar panel. And the trampolines are super comfy, so that's why we've gone with the trampolines. But we have to make a bit of a cut in the middle of it to go around the jib. And I think we've got it organised, so I think it's time for a little break.
I don't know.
You're not so sure?
I mean, it's good until we make it. What is it called in sewing? An alteration?
So we're pretty much settled on the design. We're going to make a big rectangle with a rope in the middle so that each side can drape over it, kind of like a tent. There's going to be a slit in the front so it can get around the jib, and then there's going to be a rope on each four corners so that it can pull it tight. But while the sun sets, I'm going to take this opportunity to go for the last swim of the day.
How clear is that water?
So nice.
Is it cold?
Not at all. That's one of the best things about here. Even at this time, even when it's raining, whenever you want, it's just the most beautiful warm water.
Well, I'm going to enjoy the sunset. Okay, that does look more fun.
Pretty good. Jump in with me.
Well, Yvette's swimming. Coco's just chilling out here, cleaning her belly. You want to show everyone how you clean your belly? No? Are you sure? What about a boop? Boop. Good job. That's a good boop.
This deck shower is amazing. I don't know how we lived for almost a whole year without it.
It's just priceless when you get out of the water and you can just rinse off right away.
Yeah, without holding a hose and blasting yourself with the gun on the end.
Or being shot by your significant other when you're just trying to enjoy your day.
I don't know, that bit was fun.
Yeah, I'm sure you would say it's fun.
And we don't have a shower on board, if you don't know that already. And so this is a real improvement for us.
Coco has now moved to the back of the boat and she is cleaning her turkey leg. Look at that turkey leg. She also like sits up like that all the time for whatever reason. We don't know why, but she doesn't really lie down. She'll just like sit up with something against her back.
Yeah, I feel like she's a human cat. She's just learning from us what to do, and because we sit, she sits.
Oh, that's a good belly clean. Look at that belly. Oh, never mind. Sorry to bug you. You continue about your business. There you go. There you go.
So we spent most of last night drawing on paper and on the computer the design. It is going to be quite low, not only because we want to join it to the shackles on the jib and the staysail, but also because we don't want to shade the solar panel there, and we also want it to be low enough that it actually shades you and the sun doesn't just like go underneath if you're on the trampoline. So we've come up with all of that, and so now we're cutting it. We've cut the first 4-meter piece that's going to go across, and then we're going to cut the second piece now, and then we've got to sew them to join them together and do all the rest of the sewing. So,
and just for argument's sake, the solar panel is right here, and that's where the shade cover is going to go.
yeah, so if it's too high, it'll shade that, and we don't want to do that after putting in all the solar.
Pressure's on.
We just marked it out with like a chalk pencil that we had.
Which I hate that chalk pencil. It seems like it's too hard, and it never seems like it's actually going to come off on the fabric.
Yeah.
And it costs like $8 for that chalk pencil.
Did it?
Yeah, but it's worked every time, which is, I guess I shouldn't hate it as much. I just feel like it's not going to come off, but then you can always see it. Can you stretch? Last little bit. Keep it straight. Follow the invisible chalk line. Hey.
Maybe a little bit bendy at the end, but
Yeah, we're okay.
it'll do.
So should we get inside and get to sewing our masterpiece?
Yeah. Hope it's going to turn out okay.
We'll show you guys our drawings in a second.
All right. So we're quite proud of our little drawing that we did last night. We stayed up organising the plan, figuring out the measurements, drawing it on the computer, and now we're about ready to sew. The sun is beaming on us. It's the middle of the day, the hottest part of the day, so we're getting plenty of solar in, and we've just turned on the aircon, so hopefully we can get this done today.
And if you look at our fancy drawing there, it's done on Microsoft Paint, and it is amazing. And it actually is giving us a ton of confidence. And the reason the windows look all dark is because we have our canvas.
Yeah, and it's helped so much. Like, there's such a big difference. Instead of just feeling like a sauna inside the boat, it stays so much cooler. Like, because in the nighttime it cools down a lot here, so the boat's quite nice and cool in the morning, but it hasn't like just heated up and gone boiling hot. So that's great.
Anyway, with our fancy drawings, let's get down to sewing. Yay!
Snack time.
Yay!
I've been sewing for a little while now. I've sewed the hems of the 2 pieces and then sewed those 2 pieces together. And I'm going to take a little break once I finish this last section, and then we'll come back and do the reinforcement for the corners and the attachment points. But first we're going to have a little break, and Darcy's going to make some of his secret hummus.
It is delicious. I don't know how secret it is because I'm about to share the recipe. And it was passed down through just me, actually. I Googled it, and it was a Jamie Oliver hummus recipe, and it's delicious. So, oh, hey, Cokes.
Oh, any good hummus has to start with good scritchies, eh, Cokes?
All right, welcome to Darcy's Kitchen Corner. I've always wanted to have a cooking show. I'm actually a pretty decent cook, believe it or not. So we're gonna make my famous hummus that I definitely stole from Jamie Oliver. And the one rule that Jamie Oliver has for hummus is that there is no rules to hummus. So I've taken 2 cups of chickpeas, well, a cup and a half of chickpeas, and soaked them overnight. I think in some places they're also called garbanzo beans or something like
I
that.
have no idea. I've never heard that.
Anyways, cup and a half of chickpeas.
Dried chickpeas.
Dried chickpeas. Soak them overnight. You can do it with cans of chickpeas, the 500 ml or 540 ml cans of chickpeas as well. And there's still liquid in here where we've been soaking the chickpeas, and you need to use some of that. So some of that goes, and I've already put it in this bowl. You put 11 of these tablespoons in. If you're doing it out of a can, you still put 11 tablespoons in, but you use the preserve that's in the can, just the liquid. And you don't want to put too much in, but you don't want to put not enough in. And you can keep a little off to the side if it's too dry. So we're just gonna empty this. And just gonna add this to the blender. Some people make this in a blender, some people make it in a food processor. Now the next step is the garlic. The recipe calls for 2 cloves of garlic. So we have 6 cloves of garlic here that I'm gonna throw in. And then this is 11 tablespoons of the preserve and 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. Fresh squeeze works, or if you can't get fresh squeeze, you can use the lemon juice in the pre-bought package from the store.
Bottle.
Yeah, bottle. So that goes in. And then we have our tahini right here. And it is 4 teaspoons of tahini. And depending on your tahini bottle, make sure you mix it up a little bit inside the bottle before you take any out, because the oil kind of rises to the surface sometimes. So 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm just going to do 1 more for good luck. All right. So with that done, we just need to have some olive oil. And there's 11 tablespoons of olive oil that goes into this. 1, 11. I always like to put a little bit of spice in mine, so I have chili peppers here, chili flakes. You can use chili peppers. You can literally put anything in hummus.
Not too much. Oh God, I'm not going to be able to eat it.
It is not that much. So it actually...
Those flakes are super hot.
So hummus doesn't hold spice that well. And you can really feel free to experiment with hummus because the spice goes out of it really quickly. So if it's too spicy when you first make it, put it in the fridge for a day. And the next day, it will not be anywhere near as spicy as when you made it. But this is going to be good.
I know why it won't be anywhere near as spicy the next day, because it won't be there. Yeah. You'll eat it all and I won't be able to have any.
And then I'm going to put a little bit of pepper in as well. So the pepper, you don't have to put in. It's just on your personal taste kind of thing. And again, experiment. Once you start making hummus, you'll realize that it's incredibly easy and fast to make.
We like putting dried tomatoes in, sun-dried tomatoes.
Yeah, unfortunately we don't have any right now, but it is what it is. All right, that's everything. And we'll put it on here. And then we blend the crap out of it. Excuse my language, but you really, really want to blend it strong. All right, with all that blending done, you just kind of put it in a bowl. And the best thing about making your own hummus is you don't have to use just small little bites when you're making it. You can use as much as you want. They're not when you're making it, when you're eating it, because there's so much. This recipe makes a liter of hummus. And for Americans, that's about a quart of hummus. And it's super cheap to make your own hummus.
And it's pretty much all from dry or like easily storable, long-lasting ingredients, so it's perfect for on boats.
Yeah, we've had the tahini on board since Mexico. And if you like a chunky hummus, you blend it on low speeds. If you like a really smooth hummus, then you blend it on really high speeds. But hummus is done. Now I gotta quickly just chop up some vegetables and we shall consume all.
You gonna have any, Coco? That's a hard no. No interest. Look at that bumper.
I think Coco would disagree. The best way to enjoy hummus is while seated on a solar panel with the cutest yawn. Aww. Or you want an itch? A little scritchy scritch. Maybe I'll come and join you with the hummus. Yeah. And then back to sewing?
Yep.
We're finishing that tonight, right?
We've got a big night ahead of us.
Yeah.
Coco was trying to help with all the sewing tonight, but I think she's pretty tuckered out now. What we're doing is making some like patches that will reinforce the corners and the edges where the rope is going to pull it to tighten it down. So what I've done with this G material we had on the boat is just make some kind of square pockets, and I'm going to sew the edges of that, fold it back inside out, which is what I've done with this one. And then in like the side and the corners, just make these little tabs and sew them in. And that's where we're going to put the rope through and just tie it to different spots on the boat. And then sew these patches to the corners of the pink material. And then we're almost done.
Sounds groovy. I'm with it.
Yeah, we'll see.
How are you going to sew without waking Cokes up? Delicately?
Yeah, as calmly and quietly as I can.
I forgot to squeeze the little bulb.
There we go.
That's weird. Never had issues starting the engine before. Anyway, we are guiding our friends in, John and Tina. They're coming from Colombia. And I met John off of like a Facebook chat forum, actually. It's okay, thank you. There was some fishermen trying to sell us a giant crab. Anyway, we're going to meet our friends John and Tina. Guiding them into the anchorage. It's not a really hard anchorage to get into, but it's always nice when there's bombies around and everything, and we know the anchorage, so we can go out and get them. So that's what we're gonna do. They've helped us out so much. John didn't even know me, and he was answering a bunch of questions that I had on Facebook, and then let me add him as a Facebook friend, and we've been chatting ever since, and he's been a huge resource to everything that we've been doing out here. He's the one that told us about the river in Panama that we went up. We saw our first alligator and monkeys. But anyway, need to blast off here. They're just behind us or just in front of us to pass us. And then there's lots of space on the other side. There's, it becomes shallow about a straight line here. And then behind the boat, like maybe 75 meters or so, it gets shallow again. So there's like a corridor, so you can't be too far this way or too far that way. Just straight in line with Supernova, but past it. No problem. The reason it's really nice to be like shown into this anchorage is because you're like hardwired to like be careful of shallow spots, but this entire anchorage is just very shallow. So when you get in from like, especially when you're like in an ocean passage or something, and then you see like 2 meters or 3 meters, you're like of depth, you're like, oh no, that's like 9 feet of depth or less, 6 feet of depth. You're like, oh, something's gone wrong. But in this anchorage, not necessarily, because it is very shallow.
Yeah, it's called the swimming pool anchorage, and the whole thing is like a relatively shallow swimming pool.
Yeah.
That's why it's so nice and clear all everywhere, and that beautiful like turquoise color. So we found them the best spot in the anchorage, right next to us. We're leading them the way, so they have no choice.
This is gonna be one of those situations where a boat boy leads you to run aground.
I hope not. We're marking out the anchorage, all the shallow spots, making sure we're not going to lead them anywhere they shouldn't go.
Yay, dinghy ride!
Never gets old.
Welcome to the swimming pools!
Yeah, it's so beautiful, hey?
Yeah, there's an anchorage that's even more gorgeous just a mile that way. And it's called Hot Tub, and there's nobody in it because there's an 8-foot crocodile that is right there. Literally, we were swimming there for 3 hours off of the reef, just off the island. Yeah. And then an hour later, exactly where we were swimming, we saw an 8-foot crocodile. And everyone assured us that no matter what, we're safe here, even though that island that you can see right there is called Crocodile Island.
Yeah.
You guys want to come board? Sure, yeah.
All right, that's the last one done. Take that. Now, I've done a whole lot of different supports and attachments for the ropes to hang up the shade cover for the front of the boat. Now I just need to attach these to the actual big shade cover, and then I think it's done. I think that's almost all.
I think we're pretty close. We need to put some buttons in it and cut the slit in it.
Yeah, and the rope that goes through the middle. Okay, not quite done, but almost. It's raining a little bit now, so we're having an inside day finishing off this sewing. But yesterday was a really nice day. We hung out with our friends John and Tina, who we've actually known for a couple of years, all just off Facebook, and this is the first time meeting them in person, so that was really, really cool. They had just got here from Colombia, so a bit of a sail for them, and then coming, hopefully it was a nice spot for them to anchor. We think it was. We love this spot. But yeah, John's been helping us out with heaps and heaps of things over the last few months and years, really. Like a lot of things. We asked him for a lot of help, and he even came on board and fixed one thing that we asked about that we've been having troubles with for a very long time, and he fixed it like that.
It was embarrassing how fast he fixed it.
It was. We'll show you what it was in a minute when we get up. But for now, I'm just going to finish this last little bit of sewing and then get on to the main bit, I think.
Yeah.
Ready? So this is the... So this is the 5th patch that I'm sewing on, and the little strip for the rope to go through. And once I've done this one, we're going to go out and test fit it.
How is the sewing machine dealing with the thick material?
Mostly okay, it's just hard to get under right in the first place, like that. But then once it's started, then it's good. Or not.
Oh, it's still tied here. How are you getting anything done with that cutie?
With difficulty, she requires lots of pats. But I am onto the very last piece. We test fitted the sizing and everything yesterday. It was super windy, so it was kind of more of a parachute than a sun cover. But I think it's calmer today, and this is the last little bit of sewing, and then we can go put it up.
And hopefully this time Coconut doesn't start swatting the fabric as it's coming out of the machine.
Yeah, she was playing with it yesterday as it was coming further and going around. She was jumping in it and rolling in it. Very cute.
That's not for you to play with, folks.
just the very last side of this support, which we decided on yesterday to do an additional support right in the middle, so it's more like a tent. And I've just gone up and down here a few times, making it extra strong. I might do it a couple more times and then we're done.
Cool. Goodbye, Cokes. She's off on an adventure.
Right.
All right, you ready to go set this up?
I am. I'm
All
excited.
right, let's do it.
So we've got it up. We still have to experiment a little bit with where we're tying it to, but I reckon I'm pretty happy with it. It looks great.
That's sweet. We got the spinnaker halyard on it, lifting it up, and it's super low.
Which is what we wanted. We don't want it to shade our solar panel at all. And also the lower it is, then the longer it'll work in the morning and afternoon when the sun is kind of low. So it'll protect it more. Whereas if it's really high, you still get a bunch of sun inside. And yeah, I was thinking, like, obviously we can sit in the cockpit. We've got the shade, we've got the hard top there, but you can't lie down there. And man, it gets super hot sometimes. You've got a nice breeze coming from the front of the boat. You just want to lie down and read a book. And now we finally can. I've been waiting so long for this.
Let's test it out.
Might have to move all our ropes finally that we store in here.
So this is the first trampoline thoughts session. And the first thought, well, it's going to be a thing. And the first trampoline thought is definitely we need to move the pipe and the ropes. What pipe and the ropes? That pipe and ropes. But you know what? It's doing great. You can see through it just a little bit, but it definitely blocks the sun. And we can sit in here and read books and just relax.
Yeah, it's so nice.
Oh, this is gonna like expand our area so much as soon as we get rid of that pipe.
You can do that. I'm gonna lie here for a little bit. I think it's nap time.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so good. You can see our anchor all the way, like the chain all the way until it gets to the anchor, which is not very far away because we're pretty much sitting on top of it. And the water is so clear and it's super shallow here.
It's great water for water making water.
Yes, we are making water right now. I don't know if you can hear that, but we can hear the water maker itself and then the water, like the salty water, go back into the water.
It's like a waterfall.
Hey, Cokes, you learning the ropes? Yeah? Yeah? Oh, you're such a cutie.
All right, we're just making some water right now. And our neighbors that we made water for before are low on water again. And because we have a ton of solar and ton of batteries and everything, we're just gonna make some more water for them. So we're gonna head over to their boat, pick up their water jugs. It's a full service that Supernova provides, and it's free of charge. Well, we charge a lot actually. We charge knowledge. And they have helped us out a bunch when it comes to this anchorage and everything. They were actually the ones that warned us that Crocodile Island was Crocodile Island. So it was very, very important.
After we've gone swimming there though.
Yeah.
Just
After,
a little bit too late.
after we went swimming, but we didn't meet them until after we went swimming. But one of the first things they said was that was Crocodile Island. So.
And maybe we didn't want to be anchored over there.
Yeah.
Maybe we should come over to this anchorage where they were. And so we did.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we did not want to be anchored over there. Anyway, let's go do a life flight mission to get them some water. All right, well, pull start works just in case the electric start stops working. Put my little wristband back on so I can't fall off the boat. I mean, I can still fall off the boat, but it's an interesting day to finish that sewing project because it's like super overcast, so you don't even really, I guess you still need sunscreen, but you don't really need the cover. But we will eventually, and it'll be nice. There's their boat right behind me. And there's 3 water jugs, 5 gallons, 20 liters each. And it'll give them water for quite a long time. And we're gonna be moving anchorages, so we wanted to make sure they were topped up before we left. So John and Tina are back at this anchorage after checking into Panama, and they anchored right close to us so we could wave. And then the wind shifted and everything shifted. And this time we were prepared. So there's not going to be any contact of boats or anything like that, and they're just going to move up and anchor right in front of us. But it's super nice to have friends close. So we've got these water jugs filled up, and slightly heavier than expected, and we're just going to take them back now.
So the wind has changed. Just when we were up here, our friends re-anchored because they had to go check into Panama, and then they came back to the same anchorage and anchored close to us. And then the whole they knew that there was a potential they'd get super close to us because we told them what had happened with the other boat. And the current, I think the current stayed the same, but the wind changed, and boats kind of get affected by it differently here because there's such a strong current coming from the ocean. So we'll show you as we go past some of these boats if they're all in different directions. But yeah, it's funny to see. It's not at all like the normal anchorage where all the boats kind of turn one way and then turn the other way. So this is the boat that we're delivering the water to, and you can see that it's facing completely different direction to the catamaran behind it. So that's what I was trying to say. Sometimes the boats are totally in line here, and then the wind or something changes, and then they'll sit completely opposite to each other and different and stay like that for quite a while. And that's what can cause problems if you're not on your boat, because you could swing right towards another boat and hit it.
All right, we've made the water delivery, and now we're heading back to Supernova, and we're gonna try and make, I was gonna say margaritas, but it's not margaritas.
Piña coladas.
We're gonna piña coladas, and we have actual pineapple.
And actual coconut. It was actually one of you guys, I think, commented and told us we should make piña coladas because we've got all the ingredients, and we do. We haven't done that really, not properly yet. So that's what's on the agenda today. It's a hard life out here. And our friend over there at the other boat that we just gave water, she is going to make us a loaf of bread, fresh bread. It has 50 minutes left, so she's making it a proper way, and it's going to be delicious. And so we're going to drop by her again later on this afternoon to pick up some freshly baked bread.
Hopefully not too many piña coladas down.
And yes, we need to clean the boat again. We do clean it, I promise. It just gets super dirty here very quickly. Not Mexico, in Canada, we never cleaned the hull, and it was always pristine clean. So it's obviously a difference in the water. I don't know if it's the water temperature makes the bugs and the growth, or if it's something else in the water. But yeah, Canada just does not get it like it does here. It's crazy how quick it grows. You'll literally clean it, scrape it off, and then a couple days later it's back. It's madness. We definitely need to raise the water line at some point. But for now, we're just cleaning it off as frequently as we can and hoping not to get too many bad looks from all of you guys and everyone around.
All right, so we're trying to get into these coconuts. We found these coconuts floating in the water, these two, and we don't know if they're good or not, but apparently if you shake them and you hear water, which I can, it means they're good. And these ones should have coconut meat on them. And then we have other coconuts that we bought from the coconut farm here on the island. So we're gonna try and make our own piña colada, but I don't know how to open a coconut that's like hard with like coconut flesh. I only have recently learned how to open the other coconuts, so this might be ugly.
The young ones. These are the older, drier ones that have the coconut flesh.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
So apparently if you just rip it with your bare hands,
that works the best.
it works the best. I think I punctured the coconut a little with the chisel.
That's alright, we just want the flesh anyway.
Yeah, I think there is some coconut water in here. Anyway, so the best way to get to this part is literally just to, I guess, loosen it a little.
With a screwdriver and a hammer.
A screwdriver and a hammer, and then just rip it with your bare hands. And that's, I mean, that probably isn't the best way to do it now that I think about it. That seems ridiculous.
Yeah, it worked relatively well. That's a proper coconut right there.
Yeah, it's got coconut meat. Smells like coconut.
Looks like coconut.
Looks like coconut. Da 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 da. How many coconuts do we need to make a...
I have no idea.
Piña
That's
colada.
super thick coconut.
It is.
Yum. I'm going to start getting it out and you can start cracking another one or two. And then we'll do some fresh young ones so that we can get the coconut water.
Yeah, this went way better than I thought.
And then put a fresh fresh pineapple in.
Ooh.
A little bit of...
Do we have any rum or is it going to be vodka?
We've got rum, gin, vodka. I hope we have rum still.
I think we have rum.
It seems to be the drink that goes with all the drinks out here. How's it taste?
It tastes like a coconut. So that's
what we want.
beneficial. Okay. We have now deshelled the coconuts with a spoon.
Yeah, so we Darcy dehusked them, and then I cracked the coconut out, but then it's still got this brown skin on, and so then I'm just like slicing that off mostly, and then we're gonna just probably rinse this. This is how much we've got already. And then put it in the blender with the pineapple, and then also crack open a couple of the young coconuts with the coconut water in them and put that in, and then a little bit of rum.
Just before we do that, can we Google to make sure we're doing it correctly?
What, the pina colada recipe?
Yeah.
We can do. I actually remember seeing on the internet at some point someone, I can't remember if they like boiled the coconut or did something to get this skin to come off. I think they got it to come out of this and the skin to come off. So that probably would be easier than all of this mess. But it's been fun and we've been eating some along the way.
if anyone knows a less dangerous way to open coconuts.
Open them and to dehusk them, crack them and de-skin them.
Or the proper terminology behind any of those. Okay, we'll see you on the pineapple phase.
Yep.
So now it's time to open the we already did the coconuts. This is a different type of coconut. This is a green coconut. It's a younger coconut, not a different type. I'm just gonna shut up and start swinging this blade.
It's the fresh ones, the ones that are still on the tree when you take them down. The other ones are the ones that have fallen already and then sat for a bit and they get the flesh, whereas these ones hardly have any flesh and they have lots of coconut water. Looks good to me. There's heaps in it.
Yeah. See if it tastes good. Just smells a bit weird, but that might be the coconut husk. By the way, this, amazing for making tea, decent for making coffee, unbelievable for filtering coconuts.
Yeah, it's the perfect size.
Oh, no. No good. I'll just drink this and then I'll get a better one.
No, you won't. Hey.
It's so good.
So we bought this pineapple off the fruit and veggie boat. We've been coming around more frequently lately.
Once a week.
Yeah, we just missed that one week.
Yeah.
The like little spines that dig in from the skin seem to go even deeper than normal ones. So I'm just digging some of them out so that we can get as much of the actual pineapple as possible. But I think this is the last step. We are ready for pina coladas. It's been an hour, so we're gonna go pick up our freshly baked bread. And I just noticed the catamaran and monohull just here that I had pointed to before, not our friends' ones, but different ones, they are sitting opposite to each other now. So I'll show you how funny it is. Those two. This catamaran's facing us, and then that monohull is facing away from us.
Yeah, it's still warm.
Oh,
So
yeah.
don't leave it in there.
Oh, we're gonna leave it in my stomach. Is where we're gonna leave it.
But on the bottom it has a huge hole again.
Oh, that
you know,
it doesn't
that's
matter.
from the bread maker.
Bread maker. See, we made like the microwave bread, and it didn't have the big hole in it. But your bread tastes better.
Yeah, that's
Well,
for sure.
I hope you're gonna enjoy it. Well, thank you so much
We are.
for the water.
Oh no problem. No problem.
This one is no problem for me. You know, it's so practical. You put everything in the machine.
Yeah.
You don't even have to mix it.
Yeah,
It
we
just
want to
does
get
it
one.
all.
We are, just because of this, we are 100% getting a bread maker. There was you, and then there was another boat here that had a bread maker as well. And it was just strange. And then we just decided that we love bread.
Yeah, no,
and
it's just so
and
good.
fresh bread and warm bread. Fresh bread.
Looks and smells delicious, and it's still warm. We'll make water for you guys any day. Literally every day. All right, it's time to make these pina coladas, and Coconut knows the time to come out and get interested.
Oh yeah, Cokes? Hey?
Okay.
You want a drink? No drinks for you, you're underage.
She is. The vet reckons she was maybe, what, 2 or 3?
Yeah.
All right, so let's start with some of this pineapple. What's that, Coconut? Okay, some of this fresh coconut.
I figure a couple of those big chunks. That's probably good. Maybe 1 or 2 more.
Can always add some more. And that's going to be yummy in the fridge for snacks later. Some fresh coconut water.
1 coconut's worth.
So now for the alcohol. We did have some other but we couldn't find that. And what we do have is this 151 proof Lamb's rum. This actually was on the boat when we bought it, and it's been here ever since. And the first time I had some, I had no idea what this meant. And so I had the same amount as I would normally have, and man, was it strong. Because I didn't know that this meant, or this type of drink is 75% alcohol. So super duper strong. I don't even know if we have that in Australia.
I don't think we have it in Canada. I don't know how it got on the boat, but
yeah.
So
you can pretty much just get drunk off sniffing it.
Yeah.
It's super strong. And yeah, I don't know how old it is either, but I mean, I survived, so.
So let's go 2.5 shots.
You reckon?
Yeah, which is equivalent to 5 shots. It's just that stuff is so strong.
All right.
Okay, and then we're gonna add a dash of lime juice and blend it inside, and we'll bring it back out.
Okay, and we can add more of anything, or we can just make another whole one later. And we've got more fresh coconut as well. Okay, so we've blended that all up, and I must say it's looking pretty pina colada-y.
Shall we front deck beanbag it?
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the front deck.
What do you reckon, Coco?
You gonna come hang out in the trampolines with us with the new sun cover?
She's looking a bit wary of it. All right, cheers.
Cheers, pina colada time.
Yeah, cheers, coconut.
Ooh, that's a bit strong.
Ooh.
It tastes
yummy, though.
exactly like a pina colada.
It does, yum.
Man.
Ooh, that's really good.
Oh, this week has been interesting. It's been so much fun. A little bit of chaos with the weather, a little bit of rain days here and there, and it doesn't really, only one day it was like all day. Oh, bye, Cokes.
She's just sat down, just out of view. That's her favorite spot, I think.
Anywhere on the solar panels, and then the smaller solar panels she loves sitting on.
And the little steps in front of the mast.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been interesting. Like finishing this thing, the sun cover, I guess you could call it. We're still gonna like perfect the tie downs for it and everything, but it's hey no.
Go.
You're not allowed to do that.
She was scratching down the window covers. We might have to get her a new scratching post. She's almost torn up the other one we've given her. It's almost completely ripped to shreds, I think. We'll have to get a new one.
Yeah. And now she's on the small solar panel cleaning herself as always. But yeah, now we can hang out under here. I mean, today it's kind of overcast, which is honestly really nice. It's a good break.
But on those blasting, sunny, super hot days, that's just so good there because you get the breeze and you can lie down and heaps of space, and it's just going to be really, really nice.
And there's the catwalk in the middle where the anchor goes. It's a perfect place for your drink. Yeah, it's going to be phenomenal.
But we have been at this anchorage for a little while now, so it's about time we start exploring a few different spots in the San Blas. We know one more in particular that we really want to go to that's supposed to be really beautiful, and so I think we're going to head there maybe tomorrow. Oh, Coconut's playing with the ropes now.
You finish this up.
She's climbing up
the,
how you like it's all coiled on itself, so she started climbing up that because she could actually kind of get purchase because it's a big bundle of ropes, but I think that's a bit high if she gets up to the boom. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you all next Friday. If you do want to watch any extra videos from us, or if you've got any specific requests for videos, you can catch us on Patreon and we'll do any kind of video that you like, whether that's boat jobs or seeing more about our life inside the boat, our personal lives before boat life, anything like that, then let us know. Otherwise, catch us all next Friday. Thanks for liking and commenting and subscribing, and thanks so much to our Patreons especially. Bye guys.
Coconut would like to apologize for having the zoomies, and she just ran all over the entire boat, mewing and jumping off of everything. I've never actually seen her jump that high before.
That's a good sign.
It's a very good sign.
Because she could really only get up a step. That's the latest thing. So
it's the first time she's ever had the zoomies.
I think she wanted our attention.